Hi, I'm Stephanie Robinson, Director of Solve HR. Employee dismissals in Britain today can be relatively straightforward with the present legislation allowing for termination under 2 years service without an employee having any rights to bring an unfair dismissal claim to a tribunal. This means for you as an employer, you can dismiss an employee even if they're out of probationary period, but normally under 22 or 23 months of service. But what does this actually mean in practice? I'm going to give you some quick practical pointers to bear in mind when dismissing staff members with short service. Many people make a mistake of thinking that the short service legislation means that you can just sack people on the spot if they have less than 2 years. Whilst this kind of action may well be justified on many occasions, especially where there's a clear evidence of stealing, abusive language or fighting, for those over 2 years service, you would still be obliged to undertake an investigation and the minimum ACAS 3-step process. Whereas with someone that has less than 2 years service, you have no obligation to go through a laborious investigation, and I would still encourage you to exercise caution and at least issue a reasons letter for the dismissal. Where the employee has less than 2 years service and there's performance, attitude, quality of work or a general combination of all of these that are concerning you, it may still be best to have a brief meeting with the member of staff, giving them the heads up that their suitability for employment is being considered. You can then normally go on to terminate their employment. That's if you do it correctly, of course. So a few things to watch for include the contract of employment that you've issued allows you to do so, and that you don't breach your contract by not following your own procedures. That there's no issue on assertion of statutory rights relating to the reasons for dismissal. This includes things like employees having requested breaks, safety equipment, paternity leave or pay and the like, and that you have potentially turned these down. Watch your timescales, in particular your contractual notice period. This would override any statutory notice period. Don't sail too close to the wind and leave it too late so that 2 years can be accumulated with notice. Also ensure there's no discrimination element around the reasons for dismissal. Our guidance would always be to ensure that you issue a letter after termination which is clear on the reasons for dismissal and allowing the right of appeal in that letter. It might be possible for you to have the letter ready to hand over in the meeting if you are sure in advance that the content of the discussions in the meeting is unlikely to change the outcome and throw out any curveballs. If by any means you are unsure and think that there could be a deeper issue and that the meeting means that there is a curveball and you think you might end up in hot water, please give us a ring. We're happy to talk through it with you. Finally, bear in mind that people don't like surprises and are therefore most likely to react badly to being sacked, despite their notice, when they believe they have been doing a good job or been working hard in particular. Make sure that this is not the case and that you indicate clearly any concerns over performance. Have a one-to-one in advance of any termination meeting. Explain the issues and ask the employee to go away, consider your conversation and consider that if they still want to work with you and your company. This may lay the groundwork for making any short service dismissal conversation easier. For further tips and hints, please check out other videos on the Solve website and give us a call if you've got any questions. Thank you.